Fucking guy knocks on the window. Fucking guy catch up to us. For anxiety, people can go to the doctor and write you a prescription.
I could get a prescription.
That's one. You go to the doctor and they write you a prescription. That's two. Are we going to be able to let me do the show? Should I just cut it right now? I'm serious. I seem like an asshole. I'm the one working. So, listen, I'm fucking waiting to come back over here, man. Come on, please. Just fucking watch the show. That's all you have to do. Don't even fucking laugh if you don't want to. I don't give a fuck. Just relax, man. Fine. I'm seriously. Come on, man. Let's go. Relax.
Well, there's the video. Did George Lopez go too far? I still don't think so. Let's get into it.
Best podcast in Long Beach, California. This is Tacos and Workouts.
What it is. Podcast. Yo, what it is with the best podcast in Long Beach, California. It's your boy Tacos and Workouts. Listen, man, you saw the video. I still don't think he went too far. Look, there was 15 seconds of interruptions, right? And that's just up to that point. We do not know if the crowd was unruly, prior to that. I'm pretty sure it built up to it. Then he started giving warning, and you saw the video right there. It was 15 seconds of heckling, and then more and more until and he pleaded with the crowd. He pleaded his case, and that's how it ended. Okay, so this is just in correlation to my previous video. But you guys clicked on this video because you want the 3 reasons why people hate George Lopez. That's why you clicked on it. And we're going to get to that. But before we do, we're going to read some of the comments that you guys, my viewers, left on the previous video. And here are those comments. Comment comes from Zach. George Lopez is a child. He ran off the stage stomping his feet like a little baby. You are a professional comedian. How can you not keep control of the audience? If I come out to the show and spend money, you better be funny. If not, I'm talking trash. Well, Zach, you're part of the problem. You're exactly the kind of people we do not need in comedy shows. Stay home. If your tendency is to go out and start being a jerk because you spend 15, 30, 100 bucks on a ticket, stay home. Don't be a jerk because you're ruining it for the rest of us. George Lopez isn't the same as it used to be. He got rich and suddenly became a political expert. All his jokes are about politics and bashing Trump. He's as much as a clown as Robert De Niro. We're going to touch on that topic a little bit later. Let's get to the next comment. Kevin Edwards, you really shouldn't walk out on the job you signed up for. That's an awesome comment. You know what? I really like that comment, Kevin, but I'm going to have to disagree. In this particular instance, I side with George. Thank you for the comment. From Brian, what a crybaby. And here you are trying to make excuses for really, homie? That's what they get paid for. All I hear is excuses. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and post the comments right here, and then you could pause them and read them because there's many comments, and I don't want to delay the video and get further to why we're here, the 3 reasons, right? But I want to address the previous comment, right, from Brian. Look, listen, there's no misconception that comics are just supposed to deal with hecklers nonstop, and you know what? That's part of the job. I think that's bullshit. Just like fast food workers, right? When people walk up to them and say, hey, you know what, my burger didn't come out right because you put onion and I don't want onion, and then it turns into fist fights and all this stuff. Look, just because you have a job doesn't entitle that you have to put up with everybody's bullshit. It's like you, Brian, you might be, I don't know, a mechanic, I don't know, whatever it is you do. And somebody comes on, hey, you know what? You didn't work on my car correctly, so I'm going to dump all this trash on you, right? You call your AT&T rep, there was something wrong with the bill. Hey, when you cuss out the lady that works for AT&T, it's not her fault, right? we have to stop treating each other like shit and dumping all this stuff. That's the problem with the world. Be the change that you want to see out in the world. Be better to one another. That's my point. All right, man. So those are the comments right there. Hopefully, you guys are reading them as I'm talking. But we're gonna get moving on to the rest of the video. The three reasons why people hate George. Okay, so the first one is because he does not support Donald Trump. That's right, he does not support Donald Trump, and he's very vocal about it.
Let me tell you something about, I know everybody, Donald Trump, fuck that puto. Fuck him. Fuck him. In case there was any question, fuck him. Fuck him today, fuck him tomorrow, and fuck him 3.5 years from now.
Yeah, that's the reason. George is very vocal. If he has anything on his mind, he's gonna say it. In this particular instance, he does not like Donald Trump because Donald Trump made some comments in regards to build a wall, yada yada yada. I'm not gonna get into it. But George does not like Donald Trump. He said it, so he turned a lot of people against him that are pro Trump, and that's why a lot of people dislike George Lopez. The next reason why people don't like George Lopez is because of the whole Ralph Barbosa situation. George Lopez had a podcast. He invited Steve Trevino onto the podcast to promote Steve Trevino and telling him, look, I want to grow your audience, and I'm introducing you to a bigger audience, right? Steve Trevino said, let's talk about Ralph Barbosa. George Lopez had no idea who Ralph Barbosa is. And he goes, why are you talking about that guy? I'm not here to promote somebody I do not know. And these are my words, okay? I'll translate it. I'm here to promote you, right? And then they started kind of playing around, and then George is all like, oh, fuck that guy, or whatever, right? He said, you'll see the video right now. But he was doing it in a playful manner. People took that as a way to try to cancel him. And this is something that's been going on with George, like throughout all his career. People are constantly trying to cancel him for, I'm just gonna say it, jealousy reasons, or because people just hating on a vato that is really talented, and he's saying his jokes. This is a guy who has made all of us laugh on one point or another. And to be honest, we all probably watch a couple of his episodes on his show, George Lopez show.
World to turn around and go, hey man, I want to make the path for you easy.
But nobody knows who that motherfucker is. What are you saying his name, man?
Look, I think he's great, and I'm doing
is that
it
wrong to say, Aaron?
I'm doing exactly what I'm preaching. Is
what do you mean you don't
can
know
we
him?
bring this kid up? Right?
Have you heard of him? Okay, is it wrong for me to say, why do you keep bringing his name up and nobody knows who he is?
It's funny to me.
And I don't mean it mean, I'm saying.
The man on the payroll.
No.
All right, so this is reason number 3. I think it's the main reason why people dislike George Lopez. Let's get into it.
I wanted to have this
But you
conversation.
said that I never helped anybody, which I would have to say that that's correct.
Well, but
I'll explain to you the reasons why.
well, so let me say what
But
I'm doing.
I think maybe I wasn't always the most helpful individual back then. But what I have done is I've left a template on how to do shit. And then it's somebody's duty to go and do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so George acknowledges that maybe sometimes he wasn't able to help people back then, right? But listen, this is the way it is. I'm a comic. I do stand up, right? And I started my own shows. I started producing my own shows. I hired a lot of my comedic friends, right, to come out of my shows. And then that motivated them and inspired them to create their own shows. And I'm like, great. We all grow together, right? Wrong. When they created their shows, they did not book me for their shows. And that's just the way it is, right? You would think that because I booked you on my shows and now you're producing shows, you would say, hey, guess what? GR put me on his show. He did a comedy special. I'm doing these shows. I'm going to put him on. It doesn't work that way. Sadly, it just does not work that way. That's the way comedy is. And you know what? You could get mad and angry about it, but you know what? I've given up on people expecting people to book me on shows. It's just not going to happen, and that's fine. I just think it's unfair for everybody to say, oh, George Lopez doesn't help anybody, but we do it to each other all the time. And then we point the finger at George, and it's like, that's just the way it is. All right, so those are the 3 reasons why people hate George Lopez. There's a lot more reasons, but we just wanted to keep it simple down to 3. We wanted to include your comments. And hopefully you guys paused and read some of those comments. Sometimes I comment back. Hey, thank you for everybody who made those comments. You guys can make comments to this video. Once again, if you want to reach out to me at my email, I'm at I am little hater at gmail.com, and you could give me a suggestion to what you guys want to see on the next video, or you could just drop me a comment and say, we're doing some special episodes. If you subscribe to the channel, which I recommend you do, you could participate in those episodes as well. Now, this is not one of the reasons why people hate George, but this reason right here is so important that I feel that I need to bring it up. Right? It's something that I'm just gonna pull the curtain. You know what? I've been show business. I'm in podcasting, YouTubing, and all these different realms. Right? But I'm gonna pull the curtain a little bit on the reality of show business and what's really going on.
You can't talk about people in this show. Everybody talks about everybody in comedy, and everybody talks about everybody in podcasts. It ain't meant to affect.
Man, I really like what he said. Everybody talks about everybody in comedy, and everybody talks about everybody in podcasting. That is so true. Look, I'm a comedian and I'm a podcaster. In both communities, podcasters do not get along with one another. They don't help or promote each other's shows. They look at everybody as a threat, and the first thing they want to do is do anything possible to sabotage the other person. Comics talk bad about one another, so much to the point that it hinders them from getting booked. Getting booked is getting jobs or appearing on shows, right? And it's happened to me, and it's happened to my friends as well. Another situation, one of my friends got booked at a comedy show. He was so happy. He's like, I got booked, and I'm like, good for you, right? And then he got a phone call shortly after from the booker and said, hey, I heard that you're not that great in comedy, so we're gonna skip you for now. And that ruined his opportunity to perform at that show. I think I'm just gonna say bullshit. Where would these comics like George Lopez, Felipe Esparza, Kevin Hart, um, Bill Burr, where would they be if no one ever gave them an opportunity to perform? We all suck in the very beginning because we don't know what the hell we're doing. It takes a lot of man hours to keep on doing it and practice and practice. And if you don't give the opportunity to people to get good, they're never gonna get good. And I just think it's wrong. So when you come to my comedy shows, this is what you're gonna see. You're gonna see super talented comedians that are very funny, that have been doing it for 10, 15 years, sometimes fewer, right? But they're funny. There's a reason why they're there. You're also gonna see newer comics that are starting off in comedy, but I'm giving them the opportunity so they could build that stage presence to become stronger because there's something in them. Look, I'm never going to destroy anybody's dream to be successful. That's not who I am. That's happened to me throughout all my career. People always trying to sabotage me and putting roadblocks in my way. It kind of goes back to the topic that we were talking about, George Lopez, how nobody helps anybody. That's the reality. It's sad, but it is. But I'm not going to be like that. I'm going to help everybody as much as I can. And that's what we're going to do. All right, guys, listen, I know I've taken some of your time. Look, I want to thank you for coming back and checking out this episode. Once again, look, do me a huge favor, subscribe to the channel, like the episode, and make a comment. And if you have a good comment, we're going to try to include it on our next video. What else to say? It's been fun doing all this stuff. And if you guys have never seen any of my comedy, right? Scroll down to my video section where it says videos, scroll down, and you're going to find a crap load of videos, and I'm sure we're going to make you laugh on one of them. We also have workouts, and we have tacos, right? Amongst podcasting, right? We have some very good interviews as well, and we have much, much more podcasting to do. Look, I invite you to come back, and you know what? Tell your friends that tacos and workouts is where it is on the YouTube. And until then, we'll see you guys next time.